Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tech Talk Tuesday. I'm Eddie Morales with CIW, and today I have the honor and the privilege of conversing with Cathy Miron of eSilo and Todd Hopkins, the VP of Operations here at CIW. Welcome to you both.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Well, this is the first edition of our Tech Talk Tuesday conversations. And today we're going to be focusing on the area of security, but more specifically, cybersecurity, web security. And so, Cathy, if you would give our audience just a definition. What is cybersecurity? What is web security? It's a pretty broad topic, but why do we need to know it and what is it?
It means a lot of things to different people. My most simple explanation of security is ensuring the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability of critical information for the enterprise. And so a lot of folks will sit down and think about, well, security means I need to, prevent all of my hackers or hackers from coming in. I need to, lock down all of my systems. And yes, that is included as a part of it. But at the end of the day, the risks that we are guarding against is the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data and any threats to those three things.
Yeah, that's so important because cybersecurity is important to everybody working today. Even those that might be retired or younger or whatever, if they're using a phone, they need to know a little bit about cybersecurity to keep themselves and their employers safe.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Todd, because there's some elements that a central IT department in an organization is going to be able to handle. But there's an element of security that is everyone's responsibility. Mm-hmm. And so if you think about, in a university setting or in an employer setting, you have a centralized IT organization that's responsible for maybe protection of the network itself and the servers that run all of the apps that everybody uses. But at the end of the day, each user has their own email account, has their own logins, has their own devices. And so there's a component of decentralized security that every individual as a consumer, as a user, needs to know, understand, and be responsible for. You can't expect the IT department to do it all for you.
Right. They're not the ones opening the email and, oh, there's this cool little link. Let me click on that and see where it takes me. You got to know where that email is coming from to keep your organization and yourself safe.
Yeah, and it's this the integration or the intersection, I guess I should say, of those two things that's really important, because your email team should be implementing really good spam filters and controls that help make it less likely that someone's going to even see an email that they that's malicious or that they should never open. But at the end of the day, there's always something that slips through the cracks, and then you need an educated user to know, should I click on this or not?
Right. And is this really, a lot of the things that do happen today are they get past those filters because someone has spoofed an email address. Yep. And you think it's from your CEO to tell you to go get gift cards, but it's not.
If you could just share a little bit more why it's important for the individual, the small business, and even the large corporation to focus attention on being secure.
I think the business side of it is easy. Whether you're small business, large business, at the end of the day, you and your employees are responsible for sensitive information, not just of the company that could do harm to the company if it was lost, but of your clients, of your employees, of your partners and vendors that you work with. And so the level of expectation on a business in terms of the way that they conduct themselves, the way that they invest in cybersecurity, both in terms of tools and infrastructure, but also people and training, that level of expectation is a lot higher than for, say, an individual. So I do a lot of education with small businesses, especially ones that are making the transition. Either they're starting up or they're starting to really grow and scale, to say that oftentimes the tools that you use as an individual or that you're familiar with as a consumer, you can't just pick up those tools and bring them over to the business world because they don't scale. They were never designed for multi-employee organizations. And so I think it's important to understand the differences between, cybersecurity for yourself as an individual, as a consumer, for your family, versus for a larger enterprise or a true small business. one of the misconceptions that I think people have a lot, and unfortunately it's perpetuated by the marketing, is that, there's some magic security tool. Like, I just have to find the right tool to buy, right? The one silver bullet that if I buy this one thing and I implement it right, and maybe I pay a high price consultant to do it for me, I'm going to be quote unquote secure. And the reality is it's often more of a three-legged stool, people, processes, and tools that are necessary to ensure the security of the organization and even you as an individual. So the comparison I make is to the diet industry, where everyone's selling supplements, and this is the weight loss supplement, the fat loss supplement. And we all know that it's diet and exercise and good sleep habits that that are required for you to be healthy and to lose weight. The same is true for security. So you can't underestimate the importance of training. You can't overestimate the impact of tools. They all kind of go hand in hand.
That's so important. I like that three-legged stool, because if you're missing out on any one of them, everything can fall, everything can fail. And so, yeah, the tools are really important to have. How do you protect your passwords? How do you protect your servers? Is your firewall in place? Is it current? You have, antivirus software working, and that's a good start. But if you don't have people that know that they don't, just put their credit card in an email and send it off, or social security numbers, or those types of things, you've missed that leg of the stool, and you have put your customers at risk. And really, that's where a financial obligation can really harm a business, especially a small business starting to grow, if they don't take some of those precautions. Even with a multinational company, an international company, you do have a lot of those policies and procedures in place, but you still have to train all of the people that you're going to hire, and keep training your individuals once they're there as well. It's a never-ending learning opportunity for employees to grow in this area.
Yeah, and on the spectrum of small business, large business, I think the smaller businesses, small and mid-size, are at a competitive disadvantage when it comes to cyber. And that's just because the large enterprises have massive teams, almost unlimited budgets. They have the sophistication and the eyeballs to sit and really manage and monitor this. Whereas small businesses are often, the business owners are wearing multiple hats. Their team is really stretched thin. They don't have the level of sophistication and expertise, nor sometimes the access to the right experts. And so they're often left kind of doing whatever sounds good, and they're taking recommendations from well-meaning other business owner friends or family members, or my buddy has a friend that knows computers, and so you get yourself into this situation where, and especially nowadays, everyone is a so-called security expert. Everybody is interested in and willing to give you advice, and so you take that into account. You consider the marketing, where you mentioned antivirus, Todd. I have in a training presentation, there's a slide that I always love to pull out, which has the top 3 antivirus companies, so that most everybody has one of those 3 makers of antivirus on their computer. And they market it as this all-in-one protection, all you need for security and privacy and identity, online safety. And then when you look at it, they're charging you like 50 to 80 cents per device. So they're practically giving it away for free. And then when you peel back the layers and you look at the ethics of the companies themselves and kind of what they're doing, some of them are selling anonymized data of user activity data. Some of them are installing crypto miners on your computer to mine Ethereum while you're sleeping, which is just very counter to what I believe, at least, is the mission of an antivirus. And then, of course, some of them have many of their own vulnerabilities where they have not been proven to always be, totally locked down, totally secure. And I mean, most software does have vulnerabilities. It's a common part of the software lifecycle. It happens. But some of them have a disproportionate volume of those. And so you look at it and say, how could this possibly be the all-in-one tool? And the reality is well, that's what the marketing people want you to believe. There's a lot more to your security than just antivirus.
Yeah, and that's very true, you know. And the other thing is, with a lot of those companies, are you participating in all of those products, all of those portions of security that they have? Because antivirus is just a portion of it. Then they want, you know, ransomware, or they want, you know, other aspects that you may not want to pay for. They may give it to you very cheaply up front, but then there's all of the components along with it, and that can be very difficult because, you know, your comment earlier of, you know, almost an unlimited IT budget. Many of these international companies will have an IT budget that, you know, far surpasses the gross income of a lot of small businesses, and so, you know, it is very challenging.